Sounds like a country song. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Today I want to talk about Relic 9 and how important it is to the game, and if it is important, in fact, who should you apply it to first if you get your hands on the Relic materials in the first place. It's no secret that this game has very few people who have access to Relic 9. There are few people who have, like, I had to face someone who had 5 the other day in GAC, and that was a surprise. I know I've seen an account with 6. There may be an account with more than that, but it costs $150 right now to buy a Relic 9. And it's not just from Relic 0 to Relic 9 for $150. It is from Relic 8 to Relic 9, which is really expensive. So, should you shell out that money? How important is Relic 9 to this game? We're going to answer that. We're going to look at some stats. I have a list of 10 characters that may want Relic 9 if you have the materials for it, and if it's even wise. So, a lot of things to consider. Let's actually look at the stats that we get from relics first. I think that's going to be the most beneficial thing, because there's a lot going on here, folks. Lots going on. So, let's jump into the game and we'll look at them. Whoa, we're in the game. Madness. I never thought I'd be in the game. Alright, guys. So, Relic 9 is an interesting one because it gives you a boost to tanks. Like, tanks specifically benefit more than anyone else. So, let's look at General Skywalker. What does he get? They all get some of the shared stats. So, we get... Here's the thing, everyone gets a base 6,000 protection at least. You get 6,000 protection, you get a bunch of health, a bucket of it. It's kind of a random number, whatever. You get some extra mastery, you get extra damage. The damage isn't that much because the mastery is only plus 10, so you get a concurrent amount of damage from that, and crit chance and all of that. All that stuff is nice, but really, the thing that a lot of characters are going to be looking at is health and protection, and mastery really does factor into things a lot because of a couple of the Galactic Legends that have been released most recently, namely Lord Vader and Jedi Master Kenobi. But otherwise, the health and protection are the things that are kind of new. You're getting more of those two stats than you were in any other previous relic level. So, General Skywalker is an attacker. The one that it boosts most are tanks. So let's find a tank. That's Relic 8. That's not a Relic 8 tank. That's a Relic 8 attacker. I don't even know if I have a Relic 8 tank, to be honest, guys. Here we go. Here's a General Kenobi who is Relic 8. And look at what he's got. So if we were to boost him because he's a tank, he's getting over 10,000 health. It's like 13,000 health. He's also gaining 20,000 protection and some extra damage and stuff. Look at that, 1761 damage to, it's less than 100 physical damage, which, who cares about how much damage he gets, but, so 20,000 protection, that's not bad. It goes from 70 to 90k, that's not bad at all. Going from health, you get another 13k, go to 110k health. This is Relic 8, he's decently modded. He's not transcendently modded, but he's fine. He does fine, and so you get that boost for tanks, and the question is, how important is it that your tanks stay alive for a really long time? There's a lot of damage out there, actually, that just kind of melts through tanks a lot of times. So, is Relic 9 really enough to save you, to save the tanks? That's one question. Another question is, after a while, how much it costs so much to get to Relic 9. So let's say that you are diligent, you join a territory war guild, and they always win, and you put a lot of effort into it. That's great. No shade at all. Here's the thing. Okay, so you get enough of those droid brains. You only get them from territory wars. That's it. That's the only place, unless you spend money. The other one, this Grita keypad here, is crazy. Look at how much material it costs. So let's put a full furnace thing in there. You get 4 of them, guys. You get 4 of them. You need 5 furnaces to do that. So let's see. Let's add all these. There, look, okay. Oh, almost. We almost got there, actually. We didn't even quite get there. There we go. Okay, so, dear Lord, that is a lot. I'm not going to push the convert button. Please, God, do not let me push that convert button. I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to. But that is a ton of Relic 12 material, guys. Relic 12 Plus. That stuff is tough to farm. It has a lower drop rate than most. It is 250 materials just to get that one piece that doesn't count. That doesn't count the impulse detectors that cost that cost a ton of relic materials, or the Zinbiddles. Who comes up with these names? Zinbiddle. Woohoo. But okay, so it is prohibitively expensive to get there. Not only do you have to devote yourself to a territory war guild, really work hard at getting this really epic level of relic materials, which, I mean, you get a nice reward for it sometimes, depending on what characters you're going to place them on. But then what? Like, you have to spend a ton of gear to get there. You have to spend an enormous amount of gear. You have to have a Relic 8 character that you want so badly to get to Relic 8 that you instead you put that character to Relic 9 instead of getting 2 or 3 characters from Relic 7 to Relic 8. Like that's basically what it costs. I mean, when you look at all of the materials from Relic 8 to 9, you can see, I mean, this one alone, you have to take. It takes 5 full, like 250 full pieces, and not to mention you need 20 more of these impulse detectors, whatever the hell they're called. You have the Zinbiddles. You need 20 more of them. You need all of these other pieces that are increasingly scarce because why not? I mean, we're burning through all of our gear and everything, and you're getting some reward for it. But, I mean, is that reward enough? And the answer is not really. You're not really gaining enough for it, frankly. You guys have seen my Prevail Man account. You've seen my alternate account. And all my relic levels were super low for a long time on those accounts. They still mostly are, though we can bloat now because matchup GP isn't a thing. And super low relic levels don't mean that you just lose automatically. It means that you have a little bit tougher time, but the more important thing in this game by far is making sure that you have the mechanics to win, that you have the right rules to be able to win, and you're applying them in the right manner, and not to mention having the right mods and everything. All of these things have way more impact than your just your raw stats, and 20,000 like 30,000 effective health from your protection and health. Well, and then your mods, of course, are going to boost that as well. So I don't mean to be disingenuous, but you're getting like, what, 40k bonus on your tanks, with a little extra armor and stuff. And then on your non-tanks, you're getting less than that. You're getting significantly worse than that. Sure, it's like, okay, if I have the choice between like Relic 9 for free or just not doing it, of course I'm going to choose Relic 9. There's not a reason not to put it on, but it probably is more worth your while to just get a bunch of Relic 7s and turn them into Relic 8s, because Relic 7 the Relic 7 boost is even better because you get more mastery. Check the mastery out for Zam. Or for anyone. I mean, I just clicked on Zam because she was closer, but I mean, she gets the boost to crit damage. She gets 15 mastery instead of 10 mastery. So, like, Relic 9 only gets 10 mastery. You get the boost to health and protection and everything to there. But I mean, you still have to have the impulse detectors and the Zinbiddle and all that, but it's probably more worth it, or get a bunch of characters from Relic 5 to Relic 7. I mean, probably going to increase more stats in more relevant ways than just getting one character to Relic 9. You need a good reason to put Relic 9 on someone, like a very good reason. It's not a casual thing to just throw Relic 9 on characters. So, which characters should get Relic 9? That's the question, and I have a tier list, kind of. It's very, very basic, but here's the idea. The first 3, these 3 are the transcendent ones. These are the ones that really should get Relic 9 as fast as you can, if you have the mats, if you have the means, because Relic 9 on them is awesome. It really makes a big impact. Jedi Master Luke is one of them. Him and his ice cream sandwich need to be Relic 9. I mean, who wouldn't want a Relic 9 ice cream sandwich? That's the question. The other question is, how does it impact his squad and his gameplay? The thing is, this is one of the biggest squad boosters in the game because the rest of the characters on his team use his stats to be able to attack and do a lot of damage. And one of the biggest stats that they use, in fact, the only stat that they use, is protection. And he's a tank. He's a tank, so he gains a huge amount of protection from getting that boost. So you turn your guy from Relic 8 to Relic 9, and your protection looks something like this. Other people's is significantly more, though I have a cool crit avoid arrow that I just can't give up on him. It is just truly transcendent here. I've shown it off a few times, but for those of you who are new to the channel, look at this crit avoid arrow. Just pause for a minute and look at how nice it is. That bonus potency on him is just so crazy, and the extra speed. Crit avoid, because you get double the mastery on here. He's also got a ton of crit avoid. He's got 31%, so he's got a base of 63% crit avoid. Add it to another 35 from that arrow, and he's not getting crit either. As a Galactic Legend tank who taunts incessantly, Relic 9 makes him a monster. He is absolutely worth it to Relic 9 if you have him at Relic 8 and you can spare the materials. He is so good. The impact on his team, everyone uses his protection to attack and do true damage, just can't be overstated. He is the #1 destination, in my opinion, for Relic 9. My alt will get this as soon as I can, as soon as I actually unlock Executor. There are a few other priorities first, but man, Relic 9 on him, truly amazing. Lord Vader is a little less obvious because he just stands there and builds his power. His entire team wants high relic levels, and that's an issue. But you can see this is my only other Relic 9. I put it on him because it makes a big difference. The thing is, he builds his mastery and keeps doing more and more damage based off of a lot of kit things that we really just don't have time to get into. Frankly, I mean, I hate to do that, but he's not a tank. He's very tanky, but he gets that boost to protection. He gets a little boost to health, and the protection just turns into health anyways. He gets the armor, all of that stuff. That's super nice. But the way it works is if you put enough relic levels with him, it makes it very, very difficult to kill him. And once he pops his ult 2 or 3 times and those characters are still alive, his damage just goes through the roof. But having Relic 9 on him ensures that not only is he going to live long enough to get there, his other teammates may also do the same, and he's going to hit that much harder and be that much tougher to clear. A lot of people say he sucks. I say that people who say he sucks don't understand his kit. They just don't understand just how strong he is. Getting him to Relic 9 is significantly stronger. If you're into those counters, guys, if you're trying those, any like off-meta counters don't really work. I know that people say Shock T with Troopers work. You can stop that pretty quick. I've made videos about it. If you don't believe me, then you probably never will at this point, but he does a lot of damage, and he wants to be fast. He's a Galactic Legend. I mean, even just the fact that you get an extra 10% max health and max protection per relic level makes it pretty nice. Like, just that on its own. But when you take that into consideration, his ultimate and how it interacts with all of his mastery, it really is. Relic 9 makes him a monster. Finally, we have Admiral Piet, who I am actually not totally convinced about. I know that there's supposedly a Relic 9 General Kenobi team. Like, if you take Negotiator, you can beat a Relic 8 Piet with Executor. The only reason to take Piet, by the way, to Relic 9, he'd be happy at Relic 5. He'd be happy at Relic 3, for that matter. With an Imperial Troopers team, all he needs is speed. That's the only thing he really needs, except he is a fleet commander. Therefore, every time you up his relic level, it ups his capital ship's speed, and that is important because in the mirror match, speed is incredibly important. So Relic 8 versus Relic 9 on Executor. If you have Relic 8, you can beat Relic 9, but Relic 9 attacking Relic 8 is almost a sure victory. So Relic 9, that's the reason you want him, is because you're able to win the mirror easier. But Relic 8 beats Relic 9 just fine, and all of the off-meta counters, like if you want to use Malevolence, for example, I beat a ton of Relic 9 Piets, and it's the exact same fit. Like, that extra 2 speed that you get only impacts starting speed, and that starting speed doesn't actually do anything for it doesn't impact anything. He doesn't suddenly outspeed everything. The only thing he suddenly outspeeds at Relic 9 that he was then when he was at Relic 8 are versions of himself that are just Relic 8 instead of Relic 9. So that's the reason to do him. He would be the fringe of it. He may be my next one. I would like to do someone differently. That's what he said, and she said. That's what a lot of people have said, actually. But I would, on the second tier, guys, I would like to get Rey up to Relic 9 if I could. Here's the reason why. And there should be a pause here, by the way, folks, before we jump into Rey. Just keep in mind, we're going to have new Galactic Legends soonish. We just got Starkiller. Starkiller will be released. Everyone will start working on him. They'll spend all their gear. And suddenly, we'll have another chase for another Galactic Legend or two. And that's what's going to happen. We're going to have someone who requires Relic 9. Almost guaranteed. So that's going to be a requirement. If not the first Galactic Legend that's released, someone in the second Galactic Legend at the very least. And those characters are going to want Relic 9 as well because they're really pushing them. Now, I don't know if it's worth, therefore, spending any of your really precious Relic 9 mats on any of these other characters, but I would say that, if you can afford it, if you want to stockpile a few, that's awesome, actually. That's wise. But if you're just going to throw caution to the wind, the next ton I would target is Rey, because she is so stat dependent. She's going to gain 6k health. Woo! She's gained some protection, which is almost totally insignificant for her. She doesn't have much protection anyway. She doesn't rely on it as a stat. Crit damage doesn't do anything for her, but that damage, it doesn't look like much. She's also gaining another relic level, so she gains another 10% health, 10% protection. Again, protection doesn't do anything, but that extra damage is nice. And then there's 2 other parts of her kit that matter. So obviously, I just mentioned the Galactic Legend unique, the 10% to each, and then 2 other things though. So first off, Lifeblood. She is handing out bonus protection to the rest of her team based on how much health she has. So she really wants a lot of health. She also wants a lot of offense for her ultimate, and that extra offense, even though it's not that much numerically, it really does add up. On her ultimate, she really wants it, especially because her mastery is increased by a lot every time people gain turn meter against her. The other piece of it, though, folks, is at Relic 9, every time she boosts her Relic Amplifier level, she gains another 7% per hit with her massive damage. So it's another 14% damage with this. And there is starting to be some tanks that can just eat one of these whirlwinds and not worry about it. Massive damage isn't what it used to be. So dealing another 7% per hit and doing 2 of those hits is a pretty big deal. And she gets that boost just for gaining that relic level. Next is Sith Eternal Emperor, because he just wants to be more survivable. He's going to, so if you're modding him correctly, you want him to have 200k health. By the way, your Rey should probably be approaching 200k health if possible, and getting about 12k-ish damage, something like that, as a damage Rey. Or you can get her up to 240, 260% max health, otherwise at Relic 8, so just stats to, aim for, if you like. But Sith Eternal Emperor, 200k health, plus whatever his relic amplifier level is going to be, he gains that 10% max health and protection. His protection's actually not bad either. You want to give him, but that 6k boost to health is really nice. The protection is really nice. And then you also gain some armor, which isn't that much, actually. Gosh, that's actually pretty awful, in fact. But he's he wants to add that survivability to himself, and the extra damage is nice too, actually, if you're facing other Galactic Legends. He's one of those guys who just really benefits from every little ounce of health that you can add to him. 200k health, 200k health, meat, 210k health, but it sounds so pathetic, but with all the mods and everything, they're going to grab that 6k health and really super boost it a tiny bit, and then you get another 10k or 10% health. Like, Relic 8 is probably enough for him, but he's the next guy I would do if I had to. So right now, if I had to do it again, Jedi Master Luke, absolutely. Lord Vader, absolutely. Then the next one I would probably do, I'm going to skip Piet is my guess. I'm probably going to put it on Rey, and then Emperor. That's what my choice is. Then probably the other Galactic Legends, if we wait around long enough before another Galactic Legend and the requirement comes out. So here's a list of other characters that you may want to put them on if you don't want to put them on a Galactic Legend. Now, they don't gain as much as Galactic Legends. Galactic Legends are just way better. So, yeah, I mean, but there are reasons. So first off, I added Maul here just because Lord Vader really wants all of his team members to be Relic 9, if possible. I mean, just like that's the ideal, right? So Maul, I would get Royal Guard up to Relic 9 first. Actually, I said Maul here just because he's cooler looking, frankly, but Royal Guard at Relic 9, crazy, because he's a tank, and he's gaining all the awesome stuff that Lord Vader gives him. Absolutely worth it on Royal Guard. But Maul also, I mean, he gets more damage, he gets more protection. And the thing is, that whole group, I mean, they turn all that protection into health, and he does crazy things with that health, and it's better on a Lord Vader team than anyone else. Relic 9 is something to think about. I saw recently someone who had Relic 9 on Lord Vader and on Royal Guard. Pretty intimidating stuff, but I mean, his whole team that's what Maul stands for. General Grievous is nice because his whole damage boost is based off of health. He also makes his ship better. He's a capital ship, and he's the main off-meta counter to the Executor branch, the Executor team, and so his vultures are going to be stronger because he's Relic 9. He's going to be a little bit faster, which that probably won't make much difference in the greater scheme of things, but he's also, with that extra 6k health, he's also should be modded for a bunch of health here, and he's on my, I really wish I could just have a free Relic 9 that wasn't a Galactic Legend. He's probably who I would choose. Him or Royal Guard are one of the two that I would choose that aren't Galactic Legend and who aren't Piet. But it's not going to be like an enormous difference. Keep in mind, all the other stats that he's gaining mean almost nothing. So, like, protection, that's fine. Crit damage, I guess that's okay. Like, he does more damage from that. His health boost is nice. He'll get another 10k or so after you factor in mods. But then he also, like, the damage stat doesn't do anything. The crit chance, that almost doesn't do anything because he has all these modifiers to crit chance. The armor, I mean, if his armor is taken into consideration, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. So all these other stats don't matter. They're kind of empty stats for him. He just cares about the health. I don't know if it's worth all of those materials just to do that and to boost your vulture droids a little bit. Just doesn't seem worthwhile. But that's one person you could do. Commander Luke would be another one to consider, just because Commander Luke, if you're with Chewie, if you're with the what's his name? Chupio, gosh, how did I forget his name? But Chupio grabs his stats and runs with them, and he's just gaining a lot of offense. That's what he cares about. Chupio also grabs health, I believe, and protection, so he would be gaining that stuff. Granted, this is Relic 7, keep in mind, so we're not looking at the true stats, but he'd gain, that protection, he'd gain the health, and more importantly, he'd gain more offense. Look at how much offense he's gaining right now with another 15 mastery. Another 10 on top of that, like going up from 45 to 70 would be big, and then 20% of all of those stats go to the rest of the team through Chupio. So Commander Luke is actually one who would really boost his team nicely, just because of his stat share if you have Chupio with him. Bando is another guy, so he does 20 instances of damage max when you do the Whistling Birds, and so he wants a ton of offense there. As long as you use the mechanics correctly, you're usually going to get 20 Whistling Birds, at least in 5v5. But again, that damage boost is just nice. I mean, this doesn't look like much. It's only another 300 damage, but if you add that 300 damage and then you tack on all the different mod stats that you're going to, or boosts that you're going to get from it, and you take into consideration the fact that he's a little tougher to kill, so he's going to be better on defense or on offense, and then finally the fact that you're doing 20 instances, 20 different hits, all of those little tiny boosts in damage are going to really add up, assuming you've got the right modding on him. Again, not the most amazing thing, but the other thing would be, and sometimes this is bad, having a faster Razor Wing, Razor Crest is going to be sometimes better. I don't know. His ship is going to be harder to kill, at the very least, because of his relic levels. Finally, we have General Skywalker, and he's one that is pretty intriguing. I mean, he's just been a stalwart in this game for a long time, and he's not a tank, but he really, really relies on a high protection level, and actually in territory battles, he relies on that health level as well, trying to, at least against, what was it, Ahsoka? Like in the Ahsoka mission, because she dies pretty early, and then he just wants a lot of health so that he can survive and punch back because his protection doesn't matter, but his protection level in all other aspects of the game is going to be really important, and 6,000 more protection on him seems pretty nice, assuming that you're also modding him for protection and everything. So, I mean, here, my protection is 134. The thing is 134k. We'll say another 10k protection on him, maybe even more, depending on what you've got, how you've got him modded. So let's say 144k. The thing is, with his leadership, he's also gaining a ton of protection based off of how many 501st are with him. So let's see, is it? Let's see. Gosh, is it his leadership? I thought that it was his leadership, but maybe I'm just taking crazy pills. Maybe it's his unique. Yeah, okay, so I'll be right back. Boom, there it is. It's his second unique. So he gains extra defense and 15% max protection for each other 501st ally. And so 501st, like, he wants a lot of protection, and because he's gaining another 6k, another 10k, really, that's nice. And then they nerfed his damage a little bit, which, I mean, I like him better now, honestly. He's just a tanky son of a gun, and then he stands up and he refreshes all of that protection. Then he stands up and he doesn't hit super hard, but a little boost to damage is pretty nice, and you probably would notice it pretty quickly. He also has some pretty nice mechanics to be able to boost his offense over time, assuming he survives long enough, if you give him enough protection. So he would be another guy I would put Relic 9 on, potentially, if we had enough time. So I think, wow, this video lasted a little longer than I wanted it to. That's fine. Hopefully this was informative to you. What are your thoughts about Relic 9? How would Relic 9 impact things in general for you if you were able to access it? Love to hear your thoughts, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.